Hello, I'm playing more Donkey Kong Country because I haven't been feeling well and it's been a week, and you know what? There's just something about playing old nostalgic games that brings me calm. Also, I hope the volume's okay. I meant to ask earlier, didn't, forgot, forgore. Whatever, I'm gonna beat up a bird now. Oh, I thought he was gonna spit too, so I waited. Oops. I hesitated and I paid for it. Eh. Sounds good. Wonderful. Does he really just spit one at a time? That feels so underwhelming. You're not gonna pick up the pace, buddy? Don't you want me dead? I guess not. Goodbye to that bird and his detached eyebrows. Woo. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hope you're doing well today. You fell asleep and you missed the minecart level. Here, do you want me to go back and do it for you, Endora? Just for you, okay? No, that's not what I meant to do at all. Heck, I was gonna take the warp and be cheeky about it. Oh, never mind. But yeah, I was gonna take the warp barrel. Be like, there you go, it's done. I guess if you missed it, I did show off the warp, but then I beat it legitimately, so don't worry. No save states, no warping my way past this. We suffer like monkeys. Whoosh. Oh yeah, I bet there's a secret up there. Hang on. Did I show off the oft-referenced final Kremling card? Oh, the heck you, Kremling. I did. I did not get hit by it. Which you may or may not find disappointing, I'm not sure. But I'm sure someone else who saw can confirm I did not bonk into that Kremling. I think the minecart level actually took me a couple of attempts. I think. Someone can go check the footage and maybe prove me wrong. But it was not as painful as it could have been. No. Of course, there's many more worse levels to come, so if you miss the minecart level, don't worry. There's many other opportunities to see me tear my fur out, so to speak. The backgrounds are a lot easier on the eyes than the later games. Yeah, something about, like, the color palettes are pleasant, like, they're vibrant, but they're not in your face? Ah, rip. I mean, I don't know if I want to be ingesting bananas that are being spit out by claptraps anyway. Like, you know how much bacteria is probably in their mouth? That can't be good for you. Oh, you forgot about the Tuesday-Wednesday switch. That is okay. I was not expecting people to remember. I thought maybe they'll just get the Twitch alert and be like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I am doing okay. Better than I was on the weekend, whoa, where I was... Again, long story short, I won't get into it. Oh, that's not a secret. But I spent Saturday and Sunday, and then also some of Monday in urgent care in the hospital. I'm okay now. I'm okay. There's just something really wacky going on. We had to figure out what it was. But I seem to be okay, knock on wood. They gave me some medication to hopefully deal with the worst of it. Because it tends to be the morning where it's particularly bad. But for now, I'm okay. So is one of these... secret? Are you making fun of Andorra Kapotoko? That's okay, carry on. Yeah, I'm hoping there's no more urgent care necessities. Ugh. It's funny because the first doctor I saw, and like, so here where I live, cool. Here where I live, there's a service called HealthLink, so you can call a number and speak to a triage nurse, and they'll give you some insight on your health concerns, like, hey, do I need to seek out treatment? How can I deal with this at home? Should I go get checked out? So I talked to a triage nurse who was really sweet and assessed all my symptoms and said, yeah, you should go to urgent care and get checked out. And the check-in nurse at the triage there was also really sweet. And then the other, like the nurse or doctor that I spoke to initially, there, was also also really sweet. And then the actual doctor I spoke to, like, wasn't mean, but then tried to give me the whole, oh, it's just anxiety. And I was like, I know what anxiety is like. I've felt it. This does not feel like anxiety. And anyway, the symptoms did not improve the next day, so I went back because, like, well, I can't function like this. And thankfully, the doctor I saw on Sunday was a lot more thorough and actually was like, okay, we're gonna do some blood work, we're gonna check you out. So, woo. So that was, I think, come on, a lot more helpful. That they actually, like, he actually bothered to do an examination of me. Like, the first doctor only checked my heartbeat. It was like, okay, your heart's good. I'm like, alright, cool. Here where I live, and then DK falls to his doom, showcasing where I live. Correct, I live, like, just beneath vulture culture. I'm not to dox myself. There's birds circling my house right now. Send help. Yeah, honestly. And like, I don't... How do I get... Oh, wait, hang on. There's like a Kremling. Or, no, there's a beaver. There's a beaver. There was a guy. Okay. And it didn't work. Never mind. Oh, wait, no, there's a vulture. There's a vulture. Okay. Hang on. I'm gonna try and do this, even though I don't really need it, but I'm gonna try and do it. So give me a second before I continue soliloquizing. Okay. And, like, I don't doubt that, you know, anxiety and stress can play a part in one's physical health, and that is one thing that the other doctor, the second one, did assess, along with my primary care physician, that I am experiencing some deleterious effects due to a lot of stress buildup. But at the same time, it's also frustrating when they try and downplay whatever a patient is feeling, like, oh, it's just anxiety. Like, maybe you should check for something else first, before you're like, oh yeah, you know, it's all in your head, Luigi. You know, like, no, don't do that. So, doing okay. And I really appreciate people being patient and checking in on me and the well wishes. That means a lot. Thank you. Medical procedures are always scary. Honestly, I'm not gonna say it's the worst part, because the worst part was just feeling bad. But at one point, when they did blood works, they put an IV in my arm, you know, so they could get enough samples, and also just in case, you know, they wanted to take more, give me like a saline feed or anything. And I don't really have a problem with needles anymore. I used to when I was younger, and I can handle them better now. Well, not the way DK can handle that beaver, though. But sometimes I get this, what is the technical term? It's a vasovagal reaction, where essentially it's like the body's reaction to something like pain or stress or blood or trauma or something like that. And for me, it kind of manifests in I get really lightheaded and really sweaty. So what can happen is what's called a vasovagal syncope, where you faint. And I've never fainted from, like, having blood drawn or anything. So I'm lucky in that regard. And also, it's not inherently harmful unless you, like, faint and hit your head on something. But it's kind of embarrassing. So when they stuck the IV in my arm, I was okay, but then abruptly my body is like, no. And I just broke up and broke out into, like, just a cold sweat. And got all lightheaded. Which is, I was okay, but again, it's when it, like, it just hits you out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, this isn't a good feeling. Oog, just like that. Man, I was doing the barrel cannon so well while soliloquizing, and then I did that. I don't even, like, it can be a trauma response, but, like, the odd thing for me is that I'm not bothered by needles anymore. When I was really little, I used to be. But now they don't bother me. I can have blood work without any problems. Even there's medication I have to take for my skin, and I have to self-inject that twice a month. So I can deal with that. But sometimes, like, maybe I think just because of the IV in my arm, just my body went, nope. And again, like, broke out into a cold sweat. So I was okay. It's just a little not even really embarrassing, just, well, this is inconvenient. That used to happen to you too, it sucks. Yeah, it's not a fun sensation. I remember once, I think, oh, it was when I was getting my first COVID vaccine, and I was chatting with the nurse there that was administering it, because, you know, even though I'm okay with needles, I always ask, you know, will you chat with me while you do this, just because it helps me relax, and they're always very friendly. There we go, it didn't die this time. And she said, oh yeah, you know, if you've ever had a history of like getting lightheaded or anything while you get an injection, you know, you can go lay down. There was a place where I could go lay down to do it. And she said, I've had patients, usually like men, that get really stubborn about like, oh, I don't need to lay down, I'm fine, I can handle it. And it's like, it's kind of an autonomous response. You can't really control it. So they would insist like, no, I'm good, bro, and then they would pass out. Like, you were not good at all, bro, please. You don't need to prove yourself. Just don't get hurt. You passed out during your first tattoo. I mean, that sounds really painful, though. No judgment. You can judge that, though. Oh, you've experienced it too? Oh yeah, it's interesting, right? And again, it's kind of an autonomous reaction. I've read about it before, but I would get some details wrong if I tried to explain the mechanisms behind it now, so don't take my word for it. I don't need that cake. Okay. I'm gonna focus on these ropes. And also, yeah, my Japanese class the other day, I think, went really well. The teacher was really sweet. She went over just the stuff that we're going to be encountering in the N5 level of the JLPT. I could understand everything, which is really heartening, since a lot of my knowledge is not from formal education, just kind of, I guess, exposure and intuiting and, you know, using Duolingo, which I know isn't a great resource, but at least for, like, practicing kanji, it's helped with that. Whoops. And also stuff like Game Center CX. Even before my class started, I was watching Game Center CX, like just before my class was supposed to start, and it was the Metal Gear Solid episode, which was not subtitled. And that was a fun one to watch, to see how much I could understand. Aw, come on, man. I could understand a fair bit, rip. But definitely not like the more advanced vocabulary about, you know, politics and the military and whatnot. Oh yeah, if you have like good, like smartphone applications for Japanese, especially for like learning kanji and whatnot, that would be peachy keen if you got the names of stuff. Tattoo places usually have folks who pass out even if they're well inked. Yeah, like again, it's an autonomous response. It's not really something that you can control. So even though, like, you know, I've had blood work done, I have to inject my medication twice a month. Sometimes it's just my body goes, nope. Not very often these days, thankfully. But I think like the last time I experienced that reaction was at the dermatologist office. I had to get a bunch of steroid injections in my leg. And if you don't like hearing this kind of medical talk, I'm not going to be offended if you mute or tab out. It's okay. I get it. But they had to do some in my leg. And it just, at some point, my body went, nope. And again, I was okay. I just got really lightheaded. Oh. Okay. Please don't hit this Kremling with my face. I'm free. Full life consequences. You use Android. I don't think it's an issue just as long as whatever it is also available on iOS. Unfortunately, I have an iPhone, which, you know, I know. But also, you know, if you want to be a fancy VTuber, unfortunately, it also has to be an iPhone. I feel like there's probably like a thing up here, and I should have jumped on a beaver to get up there. Oh well. That ship has sailed. That beeve has erred. Oh yeah, another side thing about my Japanese class. So our teacher had us do little introductions, you know, so like, hajimemashite, watashi wa Mori desu, you know, like, Kanada shishin desu, you know, like, where are you from, your name, your hobby. And she started and mentioned that she was originally from Kumamoto in Japan, which is a city in Kyushu, on an island south of Japan, I believe. Which is significant because it's also the hometown of Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, and she showed us photos of, like, there's all these statues of One Piece characters all over Kumamoto as, like, a popular, you know, like, thing for tourists to check out. Not gonna do the cool infinite life hack? Now why would I need an infinite life hack? Okay, but really. That's also in the previous world, I believe. So even if I wanted to, I'd have to go back there. I'm good for it. Oh yes, please do. Thank you, Tenose. Wanikani. I can look into Wanikani. It's just fun to say, Wanikani. Wani means gator. Like the thing I just stepped on. Rip. Wanigani now. I have not streamed Metal Gear Solid, you know, watching it on Game Center CX made me think, you know, I don't really have the patience for stealth. But Metal Gear Solid is a cool game, and it's interesting, like, it holds up really well. You know, despite being on the PlayStation and, you know, being low poly, the fact that the voice acting and the camera angles and everything, like the whole presentation is very cinematic, that it holds up really well. You know, so you don't mind that all this really intense exposition is being done by characters with no facial animations, because it works. And I thought maybe I should play Metal Gear Solid on stream someday. That could be fun. Yeah, it also made me realize I guess I don't need a lot of stealth in Metal Gear Solid. I hate waiting around. It's my problem. Maybe I'll hit up Candy Save Point. Can't be spotted if you leave no survivors. I like the way you think, UFO abduction. Also, the first time I've never played the PlayStation Metal Gear Solid. I've only encountered Twin Snakes. And that's, if one is not aware, that is the GameCube. Really? Okay, well, heck you too, B. Twin Snakes is the GameCube remake of the first Metal Gear Solid, done by Silicon Knights, the same studio that did Eternal Darkness. That one, I didn't realize it at the time because I had only experienced Twin Snakes, but it's a lot sillier than the original PlayStation version of Metal Gear Solid. Apparently it's what Hideo Kojima wanted, but it's incredibly over the top and very silly. And I think you do have to fuss about stealth a little bit more, just because graphics 3D. The guards can see more. But yeah, it's quite different than the original in many ways. Oh, really? I thought Espresso could step over claptraps, but I guess not. Delicate ankles. Well, never mind. Goodbye. I'm glad the Metal Gear fans here. Oh, cool. Know exactly the bits I was thinking about in regards to how silly the Twin Snakes is. Backflipping off a missile. I mean, it is pretty cool. Yeah. Now, does it really fit with, like, the rest of the storytelling? I don't know. And maybe the subdued approach of the original Metal Gear Solid, I think, ultimately tells a more cohesive story. But gosh, if it isn't funny. Never forget Otacon tumbling down. There was a documentary on Kojima on Hulu, and you were just like, I do not seek to understand this man. Yeah, I don't know if I want to know how Kojima thinks. I feel like that would ruin some of the magic. Now, of course, I've mentioned it to some friends before. Hideo Kojima, I respect a lot of his directorial choices. You know, in that this man has a vision, and he's committed to making it like as weird as possible, even if it's not necessarily the most enjoyable or comfortable for the player all the time. But he's also incapable of being normal about women when he writes women. And again, I'm sure the other Metal Gear fans here will know. His brain is 90% movies, you know, which probably explains a lot, really. You only played Twin Snakes for Metal Gear Solid 1, still gotta play the OGs. I'm curious if you play the OG, what you'll wind up thinking about it compared to Twin Snakes, because it's definitely funny going from one to the other. I am going to be ashamed of my words and deeds. What, Hideo Kojima, be normal about women challenge. Look, it's just a lot of the time when there is a girl in his games, that at some point the fact that she is a girl will come up in the narration. And he's not the only creator guilty of doing that, but you tend to notice after a while, and it's like, come on, man. You've played the original, but not Twin Snakes, but you watched the Twin Snakes cutscenes. That's all you need, really. I'm gonna try not to get hit by a pearl here. Marina would never forgive me. You're convinced Kojima is a cryptid. Yeah, I'd buy that. Aww. Oops. Gently grazed a shark. Best part about Twin Snakes is the fake out. You nabbed it. You nabbed from it for a D&D session. Oh ho. Now, if explaining won't spoil some critical plot thing to folks in the chat, I must admit I'm very curious. Hello, Diddy. The hilarious over-the-top cutscene? You have to be more specific. There's so many in Twin Snakes. Like, I can think of at least 3 off the top of my head. Oh, woo, woo, woo. Hang on. Big spread shot. Give me the frog. I don't need the frog, but I'm getting the frog. I want it. We don't get to see the end dressed as Quiet. Truly a missed opportunity. Aww. Whoa. Ah. I'm right near the exit. Okay. I'm free! Basically, a guard beats Snake over the back of the head with a gun, and Snake just turns and looks at him, the guard is freaking out, and then Snake just drops unconscious. Bless. B. Do I have to hit this thing in its stinger, or can I just hit it anywhere? I don't remember. Well, that's not hitting it anywhere. I mean, in 2, you had to hit it in the stinger. Okay, this one is just anywhere. Ow. The thing you like about Kojima is that he just stands people and puts them in stuff. You mean Mads Mikkelsen? And what was his name? Norman Reedus? Oh. I think it'd be fun to be, you know, like pals with Kojima. Like, I wonder how Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen think about it. This Japanese director thinks I'm the bee's knees. Like, alright. Yeah, Norman Reedus and his funky fetus. Has anyone here actually played Death Stranding? It seems like the kind of game I wouldn't have the patience for, but a lot of Kojima's games I find I don't really have the patience to play myself, like with my distaste for stealth, but I find the narratives fascinating. Like I've said on stream before, I really like the game Snatcher. I like its narrative. I think its narrative is cool. Never actually played it myself because I think the interface would drive me crazy. Oh, rip B. Oh, you bought Death Stranding today? Wow. Cosmic. You are merely a fan of garbage, I assume you mean the band. He puts them in trailers and soundtracks. Definitely the band. He put garbage in a trailer so hard, another garbage wound up in a Spider-Man game trailer inexplicably a few months later. Everybody's got to get that sweet, sweet Kojima juice. I seem kind of buzzed to win that one. I can't let the bees win. You've played it, Claire. What did you think? You haven't played it, doesn't seem like your kind of game. Yeah, me either. Just again, I'm curious what the narrative's about, because I know Kojima just does what he wants, and they can get so strange. And I respect that. I respect the commitment to doing just weird stuff. That's one thing I like in games, is just seeing people do weird stuff. Oh. Watch the frog. I think it's in the right one or the left one. No, it's in the left one. Rip. Tragic. It has some neat moments early on. It's very atmospheric if you walk around and take it in. So kind of the stop and smell the roses kind of game. You saw Death Stranding described as a high-budget version of QWOP. No, it controls better than QWOP, right? Aww. You want to respect Death Stranding so much because a gameplay loop of moving a couch down a steep cliff is kind of innovative in a way, but you don't know if you have the patience for it. Yeah, that's my thing too. Of course it starts with the snow level. This is a toughie. I'm gonna try not to shoot myself into the abyss, but we'll see. It controls like QWOP and you love it. Like, does it actually? Like, I remember reading stuff about, like, having to balance the weight of all the cargo that you're carrying. To help your movement. Whoa, slippery, slippery. Whoa, beaver. I want to try and... Oh, I was gonna roll on it, but it just... Okay. Okay. Doesn't exist anymore. Object permanence. You genuinely feel like you're hauling a washing machine across a gravel driveway. Only Hideo Kojima could do that. And I say that with respect. Again, is it a kind of game I would enjoy playing personally? I don't know. Probably not, because of how impatient I get, but yeah, I respect the chutzpah, you know? Wow, okay. I feel like we should get these guys some snow goggles. This can't be comfortable. I don't need that. That's a trap. Uh-oh. Oh, I meant to do that. Aight. Cool. Just watch, I'm gonna walk into a single claptrap and die. Okay, okay. George Wood's review of Donkey Kong Country 2 is hilarious. I don't know who that is. Is that gaming in the Clinton years? He spends the entire time complaining that it's more of the same, even though he said the previous game was the game of the decade. Like, wow, I love it. It's crap. Get out of my face. Hating Donkey Kong Country 2 because it's like this, only more and better? I do not understand. I guess if you can't tell, if you've never played this before, the blue ropes you will ascend automatically. Well, slippery. Wow, slippery. Give me that. Front-loaded anvils? You like the Final Fantasy VII review where he says there's nothing in it that wasn't in Final Fantasy VI while showing footage of a snowboarding minigame. Oh yeah, you know, we like, Terra and Edgar and Locke all went snowboarding across the Figaro Desert. You all remember that, right? Now I can't tell, because I'm not familiar with gaming in the Clinton years. Now, is this like something satirical? Oh, I think I needed to take that barrel down here, and there was a secret in here. Oh well. They were cool, they were wilds, and they were groovy. I think that's still in my chat rules. Like, if, you know, when you're a first-time chatter in a Twitch chat, and the little rules box will pop up before you can type anything in chat. I'm pretty sure mine still says, be cool, be wild, and be groovy is the final rule. Which is a Sonic Adventure reference. But also, it's true. You should be cool and wild and groovy. The person reviewing the games was dead serious. Oh boy. Huh. So just finding every little thing to complain about, huh? They were so sincere it made them legendary. I mean, I can respect being earnest, but I don't get like, wow, I love this thing. How dare they make more of this thing that I love? The audacity. The disrespect. It's the name of the song that plays in Sonic's snowboarding level in Ice Cap. Be cool, be wild, and be groovy. So it's not an obvious Sonic Adventure reference, but it's from the soundtrack. Oh, there's banana bunches at the bottom, but there's also an ostrich. Something just kind of satisfying about getting banana. Oh! Giving GoldenEye a middling review and then saying, we weren't able to try the multiplayer because we only have one controller. Oh. So, well, I mean, I've heard even as a single-player experience, like, GoldenEye's still fun. Now, granted, I haven't played it, and I've also heard it can get frustrating just because it's really easy for important NPCs to die. But I mean, for what it did as an FPS game on a console that worked, was pretty groundbreaking, is my understanding. Because that used to be sort of like strictly the territory of PC games for the longest time, like FPS games, just because the mouse and keyboard just seemed so essential. Oh, I was one short. You do think sometimes how gaming is the art medium where sequels are least demonized as artless. His next sentence being, who cares? Nobody buys games for the multiplayer. Ugh. Well, hindsight and all that, but still. I guess he could never have predicted the success of stuff like Fortnite. Even before that, I mean, you know, when GoldenEye was contemporary, people were still, you know, having big multiplayer matches. Like, what? Where's this guy coming from? Wow. Oops. The most frustrating aspect is that there's no checkpoints in it. If you die, go back to the stage select. Ugh. How long are, like, the missions in GoldenEye? Since I've never played it. Like, oh, how many hours of your life are you... Well, I'd say hours. It's not that long, but, you know... I'm sure that would get annoying very quickly. I'm going this way today. Because why not? I'm gonna try not to fall this time. What? Buh? Buh? Missions can probably be completed in like 10 minutes max if you know what to do. So, not like you're throwing your whole day down the drain. You know, as an aside, since I mentioned watching the Metal Gear Solid episode of Game Center CX, so... Oh, come on, man. So if you die in that game, you don't have to reload a save. You could just hit continue. And because of that, Audino, the host, had not been saving. And he was even warned at one point by an assistant, like, hey, you should save soon. And he doesn't. And then he gets to the bit with Revolver Ocelot where Snake gets tortured. You know, there were no continues, my friends. And even the show's narration, like, you know, if he screws this up, then that's like 8 hours of work down the tubes. So, he made it. He made it. because I think the show would have gone very different if he hadn't, but it was kind of funny seeing him just sweating bullets, mashing the circle button, like, oh my god, if I fail this, then I'm going to pay for it. My hubris. Why is there another rope over there? Oh well. You know, I've never been to a LAN party, because I'm not a very social person, if you can't tell, with me being so shy. But, yeah, just all the people stripped down to, like, tank tops, t-shirts, because it's so hot. I think I'd lose it. Just the sweat, the stench, the heat, the crowds. There's a bird over here. As soon as I said he hadn't saved, you knew exactly what I was gonna say. An early gaming memory is playing GoldenEye at a sleepover at your friend's house and that iconic pause music. That seemed like the perfect sleepover game. You know, not that I've ever gotten to play it at a sleepover, but it seems like the perfect sleepover game. Aw, come on. Come on. Can I still get that? Nah, it's not worth it. Honestly, I get really nervous using espresso in this level, just because... trust issues. Like, am I gonna make this jump, or am I gonna fall into a pit somewhere? And this is a slippery bird. The way DK Force floats behind me is so intimidating. He is capable of powers that we cannot even imagine. Oh, come on. Come on! The manual even says that smaller enemies will just run right between Espresso's legs. If that's not a small enemy, then what? We. No, I think the barrels will hurt me if I keep going. Maybe they won't, but I'm scared. And even if the barrels didn't hurt me, I'd fall off there. And that would hurt even worse. Why would you make a slope that steep? Come on, man. Oh. That's just mean. Oh, jeez. Scary. Okay, am I free? Am I free? Okay. You got tricked like that with Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2. A whole game you could continue if you lose, so you never saved. Then they introduced permadeath as a surprise. Oh no. Anyone is a large animal if they have the high ground. I'm gonna climb on a table and prove that. Hello. Can I help you? You remember one sleepover that was the most of its time thing. GoldenEye, Mario Kart 64, Kinects, Batman, and Robin. And presumably, like, you played with Kinects. Uh-oh. Aww. And then watched Batman and Robin. You didn't make, like, George Clooney Batman out of Kinects, so that would have been pretty cool. Golly, I remember Kinects. I remember people making a lot of, like, simple machines out of it, because you could get, like, little motors and whatnot. Gosh, Mario Kart 64 with friends sounds fun. I've only ever gotten to play it with my brother. Maybe like a couple times at conventions, but for the most part it was just my brother and I. I remember always wanting to try battle mode with 4 players, because that seemed like fun. Your friend bought a motor and you built a roller coaster. Heck yeah. Welcome, Jonas. Entering the stream with the legendary David Wise Water soundtrack. Perfect timing indeed. I think this is definitely, like, if you had to pick a standout song from this game specifically, I think it's probably this, or maybe Gangplank Galleon. I'm sure I've said this on stream before, but once at a convention, I entered in a video game Name That Tune competition. And one of the songs that they wound up playing was this one. And, like, not even a full second of the song played. Like, it was just the tiniest fraction of the beginning of the song, and I buzzed in. Like, nope, I got it. This song is just baked into my brain permanently. And I remember people asking me after the competition out in the hallway, like, do you just listen to game music all the time? Do you just, you know, memorize it? Do you study it? And, like, I have a good memory for music, I think. I've always had a good memory for sound. So if I know a piece, it'll come to me very quickly. Speaking of great soundtracks, she'd highly recommend Astro Bot. I've heard so many good things about that. It's wild because, you know, Sony's been putting its foot in its mouth a lot for many reasons, like the PS5, that whole debacle. Aw, come on, man. But I've heard nothing but great things about Astro Bot. And it's funny because I've seen only like a tiny bit of gameplay from it. But like it seems to be just like a fun, joyous platformer with fun things to do and explore. Like, you know, the same high that you get from playing a good Mario game. You know, you get to explore these fun locales and see goofy characters and interesting set pieces. You beat it the other night. Excellent game. It's like Super Mario Galaxy 3 will probably never get. I've heard so many good things. Oog. I do really want to play it. And I love that they rep so many lesser appreciated characters in the PlayStation's library, like Lammy and Vibri. And also, before I get too distracted, so Torchlight Trouble, this is the obligatory dark level du jour with squawks. And whenever I turn directions, there will be a bright flash of white light. So if you have any sort of photosensitive epilepsy, I don't think it's fast enough to trigger that, but any sort of photosensitivity, you may want to look away for this level. Don't hurt your eyeballs, okay? I'll let you know when I'm done. The bird has been released. And just for you all, I will abstain from my typical habit of trying to pause the camera, or trying to pause the game rather, just as like the flash from Squawks' lantern is directly facing the screen. Because I would try and do that just for fun. Yeah, photosensitivity warning. And yeah, Astro Bot's only on the PS5, so unfortunately if one does not have one, out of luck. It's kind of a shame because, you know, I know people make all the jokes about, you know, PlayStation has no games, but yeah, there's not really a lot on there that I'd want to go out of my way for. Oh, I thought I hit that. Oops. Oh. You threw off my rhythm, Donkey Kong! You think that's cool? What about this other brand new game called Concord I'm about to play? Oh. Really though, like, that's another, like, Sony putting its foot in its mouth. You know, we're closing these studios. Like, I never played it, but like, the studio that made Hi-Fi Rush, well, Sony didn't close them, but I'm just thinking about game studios getting closed unfairly, even after being successful. Because investors don't care about, oh, this thing is successful and makes money. They want constant growth. And if stuff, you know, if a line isn't constantly moving upwards, then it's no good. It's garbage. As far as games on PS4 you're concerned that you'd want, is just Bloodborne, and on PS5 it's just Astro Bot. Like, yeah, you're paying so much money for, like, not really a lot in the way of interesting exclusives. Like, so many games are also available on PC these days, too. And I know people like to rag on Nintendo and their consoles for being underpowered, but I'm only speaking for myself, personally, I've never been really that interested in, you know, graphical processing power. What matters to me is a game fun? Am I enjoying myself? I don't need things to be, you know, like 60 FPS ray-traced, super high fidelity so I can see every pore on the main character's face, every follicle on Mario's mustache. I don't need that. I just need to have a good time while I run around and go wahoo and step on some turtles, you know? Stepping on Koopas, you know. So, and that's why one of the reasons I've been, you know, a Nintendo fan for so long is that they have so many games on their consoles that I love playing, and I can only play them on those consoles. How else am I going to play, you know, Mario Galaxy or Splatoon, Zelda, stuff like that? It's all about the games. Oh, if I could pay $700 to play those 2 games, Gosh, Gravity Rush. You know, it's another thing that was on the PSP, right? Because I remember seeing you talk about it a bunch, Rue, and that one seemed cool. Like an interesting, rather a platformer with an interesting mechanical conceit behind it. Yeah, that's the thing with the Switch, really, is the shoddy parts in the controllers and the drift issue, which is kind of weird historically, just because until then, I see that barrel down there, like, Nintendo products were known for being really durable, really sturdy. So it's like you get to the Joy-Cons, and it's like, what happened? What happened? Oh, Gravity Rush is on the Vita. Oh, and the sequel's on the PS4. I did not know that, actually. What? Give me that. Okay. There we go. I probably don't need it. I'm gonna miss the other letters now, but, you know, you can't dangle a shiny thing in front of me. Oh, another Gravity Rush fan. You're not alone, Rue. Every time you hear Gravity Rush, you get confused and think Circuit. Gravity Circuit's a racing game, right? You don't know what happened, but every time you play your Switch, if you can avoid using the analog sticks, you do. Do you use Joy-Cons or a Pro Controller? Like, I like the sturdiness of the Pro Controller, but it hurts my hands. Because my hands are too small. And I think I've said this before on stream too, but I read a post once where someone was talking about one of the reasons that Nintendo is just very successful as like a family console is that their controllers, like their Joy-Cons, are designed for, like, not using the grip, but like the individual Joy-Cons work well for really small hands for small children. And then older gamers, people with bigger hands, have the Joy-Con grip or the Pro Controller to use. Or you're like me with freakishly tiny baby hands, and then you just use the Joy-Con grip forever because the Pro Controller's just a little too big. That too, I think that's another important aspect of a game. I wanted Winky, oh well, is respecting my time. I have a lot of thoughts on game design that I'm sure you've all heard me get into. But when a game does not respect my time, then it drives me up the wall. Like, what's a good example? Like, overly punishing the player for failure. Like, I talked about when I played Metroid Dread a little while ago, and how I really liked the way difficulty was implemented in that game, especially with regards to the boss fights. Like, the boss fights usually take me a couple of tries before I learn the patterns and everything. But if you die against a boss, you're not really punished for it. You're just kicked back like a room. And it's like, okay, just go in there and try again. No biggie. Instead of a game having like a really long reloading animation, or a really long death animation, a long game over screen, unskippable cutscenes, or a really long trek back from the last save room, especially if you're gonna make your bosses deliberately very difficult. You know, I like a good tricky boss fight, but you can't make it so it's a slog to try again, because waiting to try again is not fun. Yeah, unskippable cutscenes are the worst. One of the reasons I only rented it, one of the reasons I never beat the original Kingdom Hearts. Because I just got so sick of that Riku fight in Hollow Bastion or whatever, with the long unskippable cutscene in front of it. You had heard Masahiro Sakurai said he turned down a partnership with Dolby for Kirby Air Ride because he didn't want any opening logos delaying the start of the game. Interesting. And yeah, you're right, Nintendo games don't do all the time-wasting things with the opening logos and stuff, huh? Oh gosh, yeah, I can't do open-world games either. And I know some people love them, and I recognize they're just not for me, but I need focus, I need direction, I need the dopamine hit of like, okay, there's your goal, achieve it. You know, so I like the side-scrolling 2D platformer. Get from left part of level to right part of level, hopefully without running into any beavers or alligators. The only Rockstar game you got into was Bully. That one seemed a lot more like tongue-in-cheek than GTA. Oh, I thought there was gonna be like oh, this thing I think maybe has a barrel pop up and then I can break this oil drum. Oh well. Well, now I kind of want to know. Oh, never mind. You feel like either Super Meat Boy or the Devolver stable changed your relationship to difficulty. Like, Super Meat Boy is another one. I haven't played it, but like, if you die in that, you just immediately, bam, get to try again, right? And I think that's good design. Because yeah, if you're gonna make something really difficult, make it so it's not an obstacle for, heck, for players to try again. And I've mentioned this before on stream too, but Masahiro Sakurai on his gaming channel had one of his videos about difficulty in games and about how it's important to respect a player's time, and that if players have to repeat a lot of the same stuff to try again, they're gonna lose patience. Hang on, I want to concentrate. I want to get this frog. Oops. Aw, oh, heck. I was one away from the frog. Oh yeah, in games, when they get bloated to oblivion, ugh. 1,000 side quests, 2,000 markers and maps. Oh, I can't do it. Because it just feels like busy work after a while. Like, this isn't sort of enriching my gameplay experience. It's not making the world feel more alive or the whole experience richer. It's just wasting my time. This isn't adding to the experience. Yeah, I heard that Sakurai really liked Astrobot. Like, again, I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I'm happy that maybe Sony finally realized, we kind of, like, built, like, the PlayStation's early success on mascot platformers. If I try and push this, I feel like I'm gonna hit the fire, so maybe I'm not gonna do that. Maybe we should go back to that. You only gave up on Hotline Miami 2 when the boat didn't offer any save points. I don't have any context for the boat, but something not offering save points does sound very frustrating. Like, players have lives. We can't be tethered to your games forever. As much as you might want that. 1 million years Hotline Miami 2. The boat level is very large. Oh boy. Astrobot also does a much better job of honoring the PlayStation legacy than that Sony Smash Bros. Clone from a decade ago. Oh gosh, what was that, like PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale or something? I just know Parappa was in it, and Kratos was in it, and I don't remember. So I remember seeing the character roster and thinking, boy, you don't really have a lot of memorable characters to draw on, do you? Uh-oh. Whoop. I heard that. Oh, there you are. Hello. Whoop. It had Dante, but specifically the version nobody liked. Oh, good. Like the ill-advised Devil May Cry, like the reboot, whatever they were trying to do. I've never played a Devil May Cry game, but my knowledge is that, like, they're supposed to be kind of campy and cheesy in a tongue-in-cheek way, and that's part of their charm. And if you just try and make them edgy and serious, then you're sort of missing what made them work in the first place. Yeah, Sony's been eating their shoes for a while now. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't one of, like, the little character cameos in Astrobot, is Ulala from Space Channel 5 in there? I feel like I saw an Ulala bot. I might just be imagining that. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. She is! Oh good, my Goyle. I would like to see another Ulala. Or rather, another game with Ulala that, I can play. I mean, I know there's the VR one, but I don't have a VR setup, and also apparently it's pretty short. Even though Hatsune Miku is in it, not even Hatsune Miku can save it. They were trying to reboot DMC, but they tried simultaneously to make it too serious and too edgy. And what? I thought I was just gonna, like, gently land on that vulture's head if I stayed put. Well, alright. Oh yeah, the Big Daddy from... Uh-oh. Bioshock is in that Smash clone. Wow, even Intelligent Cube got referenced in Astro? Really? How? Like, I don't know, do they have like a stack of like the blocks on the grid with like the little guy on it? I don't know how you would reference, like, make a character from Intelligent Cube, but that's cool. That's another game I only know because I saw it on Game Center CX, and I thought to myself, I would be absolute hot garbage at this game. I love me a good puzzle game, but where I have to plan multiple moves in advance like that, under a strict time limit, no, 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 no. I could probably coast on instinct for a little while, but then my brain would just lock up. And failure. The fact that anyone even knew about Intelligent Cube. I knew of Intelligent Cube, but again, only because I saw it on Game Center CX. Ah! Astrobot says, perfect! I assume in that same tone of voice. Yeah, we all have our niches. Like me and Snatcher. Aw, man. There's also a Mr. Mosquito reference, which you had literally gone, I bet Mr. Mosquito is too obscure to reference in this game, and then they did it. Wow. Yeah, Astrobot only on PS5, the one good game on there. With all these just delightful deep cuts. Your friend had a PS1 demo disc with Intelligent Cube. You played it a bunch but couldn't beat a level. I mean, it looked tough. Again, having to do all that planning in advance. Oh, is your mom really good at Intelligent Cube? That's really neat. It makes me think of, like, so many, like parents and grandparents out there that developed, like, incredible Tetris skills. Because they just played Tetris on the Game Boy a ton. Like, hardcore. Someday I should play, like, some form of Tetris on stream, whether it be, like, Tetris 99 or some other form of it, just so you can see how depressingly mediocre I am at Tetris. I can survive. That's about it. I'm better at Tetris Attack, but not by a lot. Whoop. Aw, well, that's gone. Well, Puyo Puyo Tetris. Oh man, I feel like I'm even worse at Puyo. I like seeing videos of high-level Puyo play. Like, if you've never seen high-level Puyo play, it's quite impressive to watch, just the setup that they do. Under the time pressure. Aw, heck. But, like, even though I get sort of the theory behind how to do big combos in Puyo, I just can't make it happen. Tetris Attack is fun. You wish there was a good match 3 on the Switch. I mean, it is on NSO. If you can rope a buddy into playing Tetris Attack's multiplayer with you via NSO, there's that. You know, I've never played Tetris Effect. That one looked cool, though. Like, that's the one that really, like, focuses on sort of like an audio-visual combination. A real synesthesic experience. Am I saying that correctly? If I do Kirby's Avalanche, I'll have to do it by way of Sonic Mania. You know, oh, Sonic Mania bounced off his rock-hard pecs. Sonic Mania is on my to-stream list. I do have it on Steam for that purpose, which I got in a bundle. But, I mean, like, it's just convenient to stream that way. I initially got Sonic Mania on the Switch. That is how I played through it the first time. But when I play it on stream, whenever that is, I'll play the Steam version. Ah! Reading chat. Shouldn't do that. Beaver's gonna fall on my head. But that's okay. I'm glad that Diddy took the hit. I mean, I'm sorry Diddy took the hit. But also, there's a lot of beefy enemies like Clump and Crusha, and Diddy will just bounce off their massive pecs and into the abyss. No? No, okay. He's shy. Will I be doing the Blue Spheres mode? Maybe. I'm a little nervous, in a way, because I think I'm pretty good. I don't want to, you know, put myself on a pedestal and then look like a dope later on, but I've gotten all the Chaos Emeralds and all the Super Emeralds in Sonic 3 and Knuckles more than once, so I can do it. And I believe I beat all the blue sphere stages in Sonic Mania on the Switch. I thought I could roll into him with DK. You can't. His pecs are too massive. I think I beat all of the blue sphere stages in Sonic Mania. I tried to get gold medals on all of them, where you get all the rings on them too. And I think there was like 1 or 2 stages I just couldn't quite pull it off on. Oh. Because they were just a nightmare of like very narrow corridors with awkward jumps. I think I'm decent at the blue spheres. I guess the thing is, now, being decent at blue spheres and being decent at blue spheres while streaming, that's a whole different can of worms. Oh, a whole different bunch of bananas. Wow. Ah, jeez. I gotta not read chat during this level. Clump is still shy. He's just, you know, hanging out up there. I've heard a little bit about, like, the, just the wild fight for the rights to Tetris. Tetris has a very involved history. And also, speaking of Tetris, if you've never seen, like, at a GDQ or something, footage of people playing Tetris the Grandmaster, you should check that out, because it's absolutely bananas. Pun, you know, slightly intended. Crusher, get off. Like, playing on an invisible grid at maximum speed and keeping up with it. Just the memory, the control. Woohoo. Or I saw someone get a special rank in Tetris the Grandmaster where you have to create via gaps in your stack like a greater than sign, which is, you know, extremely hard to do because you have to very carefully clear blocks away, leaving just that 1 pixel gap in every row. And the fact that people can do that consistently. Yeah, Tetris high-level play is out of this world. That's true, yeah, Tetris is insanely successful, and that is underselling it. Hang on, I'm gonna have a sip of water 1 sec. There we go. Okay, back to it. Yeah, I think part of Tetris's success is that it's so accessible. And why you would have so many, like, you know, like, people who never played video games would get really into Tetris because it was so easy to pick up. And very easy to understand. So you have, like, you know, like, these grandparents and retirees and, like, stay-at-home moms and whatnot that are Tetris grandmasters and not even necessarily aware of it just because they've played so much. Oh, I'll check my posture. Ugh, thank you. No shrimping. You wish you were decent or great at Tetris. You have a decent number of hours in Tetris 99 and you long to be good at it. You just gotta be a retiree and then you gotta get Tetris on the Game Boy and then you just, like, you tether yourself to that thing for, like, a week and then see what happens. Oh man. Oh gosh, I played a little Luminous back in the day. Woo. I knew someone who had a PSP with Luminous, so I got to play a little bit of it. It wasn't really the kind of thing that I would see myself playing a lot of, just because I'm not a big, like, that kind of... You know, when I say I love puzzles, I love puzzle games in the sense, like the Zero Escape series or whatever, where you're solving puzzles in a game. But puzzle games like Tetris and whatnot, I'm not great at those. I'm mediocre to poor at those. Maybe passable. I'm passable at some of them. But yeah, Luminous I think was cool. I like the one song I heard from it, Shinin', which is very, very earwormy. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, Shinin'. Go look it up. Maybe I'll play it before stream on Friday or something, if I remember. And we can all get it stuck in our heads together. You say you like puzzle games, but there becomes a point in every game when they become too difficult for you. I mean, everybody's good at different types of puzzles, right? And, it doesn't necessarily mean that all puzzle games are created equal, by which I mean all puzzles are designed in an intuitive fashion. Like, I like reading about game design And a good example are like old Sierra adventure games and the puzzles in those, which are just so obscure and unintuitive and unfair a lot of the time. Like, those are not the kind of puzzles I would enjoy solving. Woo! But like the puzzles in like the Zero Escape series or Animal Well, Tunic, like, oh, inject that stuff directly into my veins. I love it. Woo. Oh. I don't know what I expect. I guess I expected an elevator, actually. Intelligent Cube stream went. Oh no, you don't want... That would be embarrassing. Tunic is awesome. Oh, that's not awesome. Yeah, same. I prefer the puzzles like what 999 and Virtue's Last Reward have. I see you are also a fellow Uchikoshi fan. Wonderful. I have actually been playing through on my own time AI the Nirvana Initiative, which I only finally got around to a little while ago. And I only got to play actually a little more of it today after not getting to play for several days because I'd been too ill. What a cool game, no spoilies. And I would never spoil that for anyone either. But if you like puzzle games and also like weird thought experiments, and I'm trying to find a good way to summarize what encounters in Uchikoshi games. Check them out. I'm a fan. Minish Cap is also on my to-stream list, because that's one I have not played in a long time. And I don't really remember much of it except for, like, the first dungeon. Oop. I'm sure I've told the story on stream before, where it was on... So if you were part of the DS Ambassador program, oh, rip, by which I mean you were an early adopter of the 3DS, you could download certain Game Boy Advance games to your Nintendo 3DS, and one of them was Minish Cap. So I remember being on a flight and deciding I'm going to play Minish Cap. And I forgot that, unlike other games on the 3DS, when you're playing a Game Boy Advance game like that, if you close the screen, it doesn't go into sleep mode. It doesn't pause the game. And we were about to take off, so I had to put my 3DS away while that happened. So I just, instinctively closed it, thinking it'll put it into sleep mode, and it didn't. And I reopened the console to find the game over screen. Link had been crushed to death by the first boss, which is just a giant choo-choo. I'm so sorry, Link. That's like the saddest way to go. It was pretty funny. But it's what the flight attendant wanted. Settle down. Right, amateur mistake. Forgot could not stop time. Whoa, scary. Elevator trust issues. Oh no, I'm like right near the end of the level too. Ook. I took a choo-choo train to Pain Town. I can't use my own like shifty-eyed squint emote. But I wouldn't anyway because it's a good joke. I left. Could Outer Wilds be considered a puzzle game? I've had several people tell me to try that, especially because I really enjoyed Tunic. And I've been told don't look up anything about it. I know basically the central conceit of the game and that's it. So that's also on my to-play list. And I do love me a good puzzle. So... And it's fun for me to have like a sort of like a puzzle or narrative focused game to work on, just as like a project. Like for me right now, that's AI 2, the Nirvana Initiative. Oh heck, I forgot that clump. Just does like a short little twist. Or other ones have been Animal Well or Chance of Sonar was a really good one. If you like language at all, I would strongly recommend Chance of Sonar. That one was really cool. That was a very satisfying game to solve. And it just looks really cool. If you have any interest in linguistics or puzzles, try Chance of Sonar. Do it for me. There's a demo even. It's even on the Switch if you just want to sit in your couch and puzzle out a language. These ding-dang clumps, I tell you what. Too beefy, too burly. Oh. Why is there an elaborate system of elevators in this cave? I'm gonna hold on to this. For insurance. Like that. Referencing terrible movies in my chat. How could you? Ugh. Okay, this time. Anytime I'm faced with an obnoxious obstacle in a game and I say this time. If you know the bit from The Simpsons where Homer is trying to eat a potato chip but all the Greyhound puppies keep jumping and snatching them from his hands before he can bite down, that's exactly what is going through my head. This time. Don't! Oh, I take the potato chip and eat it! Ooh, Ghost Trick is on sale on Steam. Ooh, okay, yeah. If you really like good narrative puzzle-solving games, like with a really strong narrative, please play Ghost Trick. That's what everyone who plays Ghost Trick says, I think, is please play Ghost Trick. The opposite of gatekeeping. Because Ghost Trick fans are always telling other people, please play Ghost Trick. Like, Endor, you played it a little while ago, yeah? I seem to recall you said you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's gate opening. I'm rolling out the red carpet. Is there a thing past this little baby shark? Oh. That's a good question. What is a genre of games I would never try, like not even to check out my wildest dreams? You know, yeah, I want to extend that to the whole chat. I have to think about that. I mean... like, there's certain elements in some genres of games that don't click with me, like open world games, or... like, I tend to get really restless playing visual novels. If it's a lot of, like, just sit through dialogue and then make choices at branching points, I get really restless playing those. But there are some visual novels I do really enjoy, like the Ace Attorney series, although that has more of a detective element to it. Or, Valhalla, but I also get to mix drinks and also... oh, fish. I also get to listen to cool music, and there isn't like a bunch of branching dialogue paths, so the part of my brain that wants to see everything isn't wrestling with the part of my brain that just wants to get on with it. But I don't know, it really depends, I think, on the individual game. I have to think about that more. I'm not really a dating sim person. Like, I don't mind it when games will have dating sim elements, like, say, like Harvest Moon or whatever. But I don't go out of my way to play, like, just straight-up dating sims, because they just don't really hold interest to me. I don't know. I mean, there's so many genres of games out there. I don't really like FPS games. I don't really like playing games in the first-person perspective. There's something kind of claustrophobic about it. And I also don't really like using a mouse and keyboard to play games, because they make my hands cramp up. Maybe just the desk is too high that I'm sitting at. And always has been. They just never felt comfortable. Oh yeah, I suppose, like, jump scare horror type games, like FNAF. Not really for me either. I can see why people enjoy them, and why they've gotten so popular, but those aren't for me. I don't like being jump scared. You know, I'm stressed enough as is. Why would I stress myself out even more? When I can stress myself out in a fun way, by playing Donkey Kong Country. I joke, I don't actually find this that stressful. This is fun. I mean, listen to this music. You can't be stressed listening to this music. Is Ungard around here somewhere? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Aha! Oh yeah, sandbox games. I need... Yeah, here are some resources, do whatever you want. It's why I've never, you know, tried out Minecraft, because I need direction, I need focus, I need the dopamine hit of completing a task. And yeah, I don't know what it is about me and visual novels, because, like, I love books, I love reading. But just something about visual novels haven't really clicked for me, the ones I've tried in the past. Oh, I was reading chat. Hang on, can I have my swordfish back? Maybe he'll meander back this way. Oh, what? Did that tire just, like, phase into existence? Am I crazy? Until Dawn. I've heard of that. I don't actually know what it's about. And I don't mind spooky, per se. But I don't like jump scares or, like, over-the-top gore. I think it has to be done well. Which reminds me that I really want to get a hold of and do a proper full playthrough of Crow Country at some point. Because again, I have the demo of that on my YouTube channel that I recorded offline, and I really liked Crow Country. Oh man. There was like one jump scare in Crow Country where, like, I think like a bunch of spiders come out of a vent. And I don't remember exactly what my reaction was, but I don't tend to yell or shriek or gasp or any sort of over-the-top reaction. It's very gentle. Or like, don't do that. Until Dawn is effectively an interactive horror movie. That kind of thing makes me think, no, I'd want to see that in a Let's Play. And there's certain genres of games where I sort of enjoy them more. Oh, thank you. Through a Let's Play, especially if they have like a lot of narrative depth and a lot of really missable content. So that way, like, if it's a comprehensive Let's Play, then the Let's Player can show off, here's, you know, all the cool stuff in the game, all the narrative beats and whatnot. So I can enjoy all that without going crazy trying to play the game myself. I went, come on, man. Is that what I said? Come on, man. Yeah, that sounds like me. When you played Minecraft, you just dug forever. You know, I've heard people do that sometimes, just dig forever. I mean, do you find cool stuff if you go really deep? You watched Until Dawn as a Let's Play, yeah. It sounds like if it's like an interactive horror movie, then, whoa, a Let's Play would be a good way to experience it. Recently, actually... Whoa, uh-oh, goodbye. Well, I was, convalescing and trying to find ways to distract myself while I was feeling particularly ill. I was going through a Let's Play of Killer 7, because I was thinking about weird games, and also... I always, like, forget his name. Masafumi Takeda, that composer who did Danganronpa and No More Heroes. I believe he also did Killer 7 soundtrack. That's, I think, an example of a game where mechanically I feel like the mechanics of it would drive me crazy. Especially just trying to aim precisely with a GameCube controller. Like, thank God Splatoon has gyro. But just, it's so fascinatingly strange and weird to look at. And... I don't know, like, Suda51, kind of like Kojima, one of those developers where, you know, just makes weird stuff, and I respect that. I like weird narratives. Oh, goodbye, tire. Guess I didn't need that. Uh-oh. This is one of those stages where I really should be focusing on the road and not chat. That's why they tell you don't look at your phone while you're driving. I'm sure that also applies to minecarts. Even if these are not vehicles, strictly speaking. Yes, it does help me if I make a little noise when I leap over the bees. It gives me just a little extra oomph, you know? It's like mashing A and B and rotating the control stick in Pokemon. Whoa. Oh, almost. I'm literally the Velma image of, you stop that! I am, aren't I? I say that, I take that with pride. That's me playing a horror game. You stop that! Your Suda51 experience is that he was standing right behind you and your friends didn't tell you until he'd left, which feels oddly representative somehow. Wait, what? Really? Where was this? How did your friends know it was Suda51? It's like acting while voice acting. If you bug out your eyes and contort your face while voicing an evil villain, you just sound better. It's true. It's like how you can tell if there's a smile in a person's voice or not. Or like fellow artists here. I thought this was gonna fall and I could get that Ungard. I guess it doesn't want to fall, so never mind. People who draw here, I'm sure you're no stranger to if you're drawing a character pulling a weird face that you also make that same weird face. Or at least you have to fight not to, right? He wasn't there low-key. He had this shock white rockstar blazer. That kind of rules, actually. I don't even know what Suda51 looks like. Oh, this was at PAX, dang. Unconventional narratives. Fumito Ueda. Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. You know, I remember, like, when, like, especially Ico and Shadow of the Colossus came out, I was really curious about them, just hearing about how unique they were and the kind of narratives they were trying to tell. And I don't know whether or not the gameplay would jive with me because I haven't tried any of them. But, again, I really respect developers trying to do weird stuff. How? I mean, I know how. I missed. But how? You know, I'm thinking about it, folks in chat. Like, what are some other weird games or, you know, interesting game developers that you are fond of? And when I say weird, it can be your own definition of weird. You know, like the Katamari series, whatever Wadham was. Oh, hello, Lou. How are you? Okay, goodbye. Reading chat is not good. You know, Drunky Krong's going pretty well, except for the fact that I seem to be ignoring the fact that the lights are going out in this place every 2 seconds because K. Rool cheaped out on the power bill, I guess. I thought I don't need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm gonna read chat, but something about when I play like 2D platformers especially, chat is really engrossing. I don't know what it is. Like Yoshi's Island was like this too. That was a great stream. Oh, Donut County was great. I streamed that one a while back and I had a great... Oh, same tire. Like not the same tire as last time, but the first time. Yeah, I streamed Donut County a while back and that was a really fun one. Like short, sweet, silly, memorable. There's no specific developer that you're into all of their games. I mean, when I... Gosh dang it. Yeah, I don't know if there's a specific developer that I'm, you know, all upons for either. But even like I was saying early on in the stream, like Hideo Kojima, even if a lot of what he does doesn't appeal to me from a gameplay perspective, I respect that he's got a vision. And he chases that vision, even if it's incomprehensible to everyone else. And also Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen are there sometimes. And I just like, I don't know, people trying interesting and odd things with games as a medium. I think it's fun. What? You were not there a half second ago, Sir Clump. Oh. If we could get like a headlamp, like just a flashlight, something. Like, maybe get Donkey Kong like a little glow-in-the-dark tie. Anything. You know, I gotta play Chibi Robo. I feel like, Kapotoko, did you say you enjoyed Chibi Robo, or am I misremembering? I feel like someone here has mentioned they enjoyed Chibi Robo. Goodbye. Where's Squawks when you need him? Oh, he's on vacation. He's Union C, so I can't just call him out of nowhere. Oh, I was thinking of custom robot. Oh, I'm sorry. The big beefy battle robots, not the tiny little robot that you have to plug into the wall. Never gotten to play custom robo. Should try. Oh yeah, that's right. You know, I forgot you had mentioned it too, that Crypt Custodian came out a while ago. I tried that during Steam Next Fest, the demo of it, and I really liked it. And I'm glad to hear that the full Crypt Custodian is good. Oh man, I don't trust this rope. Okay, okay. You know, I've only played a couple Supergiant games. I've played Transistor and I've played Hades, and I like them both. I mean, there's also... there's Bastion, I think, and then... Oh, there's another one I'm blanking on the name of. It's haunting me. But I liked what I played of them, especially just... Oh, come on. The art and music that they put into their game, I think, is quite spectacular. Can't I remember the name of, like, the other Supergiant game? Ugh, it's really bothering me. Oh, well. But yeah, Transistor was a really pretty game, and I really enjoyed Hades. Sometimes I think I should go back and play Hades, because I didn't clear it with every single weapon. Only a couple of them. But then I think... I haven't played it in so long, and I don't remember any of, like, the attack patterns. And now all the... Because I've beaten it, that all the bosses are going to be the harder versions. Oh, heck. Oh, We All Become is a really good song. When you speak, I hear silence. Something like that. I don't remember all of the words, though, especially because I'm hearing this David Wise bop in the background. I suddenly remember at work, I was playing some of the Transistor soundtrack on the aux. I forget why. And a coworker was like, "Oh, I really like this. Where's it from?" So I told her, and I mentioned, like, "Oh yeah, the game's about, you know, the singer Red, and you know, these are her vocals that you're hearing." And she asked me, the next question she asked me when I told her about the game was, "Is she hot?" I'm like, I don't know. Maybe. So I pulled up a picture of Red. She's like, "Oh yeah, she's hot. I gotta play this." So I hope that coworker did and enjoyed it. Pyre! That was the other one I was trying to think of. Is that one about, like, some sort of sport or something? I've never played it. I just know it exists. Oh, beans. Chat is so good, but I have to not run into Kremlings, but chat is so good. Oh. That would be so mean if there was, in fact, no secret there. Just a little heck you. Like, oh, you wanted a free banana? No. Oh. Is that what it's about? The sport that lets you get into heaven? Which also reminds me, in a way, I've not played it, but it's something I kind of want to try at some point, is Neon White. Just because I've heard the soundtrack to Neon White, and I love the soundtrack to Neon White. Oh, I missed. Oh, wait. Oh. Wait, oh no, I got it. I keep thinking I missed. Oh, Maury, why? Why? You know, all these other hellish levels in this game, and I'm spending the most time on Blackout Basement. Like, come on. Come on, me, really? And just because I get impatient. And I'm reading chat. I'm beans in it. I've joked before that I'm not a real VTuber because I don't have a lot of the trappings that many proper VTubers do. Like, I don't have an Oshi mark. Maybe that's my Oshi mark, is just beans. No, it's not beans. It's not beans. I'm saying this now. Canonically, my Oshi mark is not beans. Thank you. DKC 1 is probably the hardest of the trilogy. Okay, but this game doesn't have Poisonous Pipeline. You're a pretty firmly gay dude, but when I asked if Red was hot without looking it up, you're like, "Pff, big time, especially if a queer woman is asking." See, I have no concept of if a character is hot or not. It's not a thing that registers in my brain. I can recognize, like, traits that are commonly seen in characters that people say they find attractive, but I can't, with authority, like, tell my coworker, is this character hot? I don't know. That's up to you. But she was firmly in the like, oh yeah, this lady's hot, I need to play it. And I hope she did, and she enjoyed Transistor. If any part of their body is on fire, they are likely hot. Oh, I see. So that's why you and Bows have a thing, huh? I get it. What's an Oshi mark? An Oshi mark is like an emoji. Oh, beans. That people will use to show their support of a VTuber. I'm trying to think of like the exact definition of Oshi. Like if someone is your Oshi, then you support them. So a lot of VTubers will have certain emojis or combinations of emojis that are meant to represent them. So fans will use them to signify like, yeah, I'm a fan of this person, this performer. And I don't have one, but if I had one, it would not be Beans. I'm saying this now. I also thought that, like, attractiveness is a very subjective thing, right? So I thought, I can't weigh in on this. Like, I don't know what kind of girls my coworker finds attractive. I do think Red has a very pretty design, though. I like the red hair. Yeah, like a secret signal, basically. Oh, no. Okay, because I don't want to die at this part again. I'm just gonna... Okay. Just wait for it. That's all I had to do, was just wait. What a novel concept, waiting. Oh, Gator Parade. Okay, and this is where I died comically. So I was like, I'm gonna roll on the steel drum. Why would I do that? It's like a convention going on here. Scared. The lights are gonna come on and there's gonna be a guy right in front of me. Why does Rare like putting like single enemies right in front of the exit? Just to torment you. Oh, oshi is derived from the Japanese verb osu, to push, and fans use it to indicate their favorite performer. Well, there we go. Thank you, Tenrose. There you go. There's your definition. Hello. This is such a weird boss. It just tries to squish me, and then it plays Yahtzee. Red had that vibe of attractiveness that comes from the designers prioritizing making her cool rather than making her hot. Yeah, I get that. Like, when you see a character like that, and you get the sense like, okay, this is a person, and they deliberately, you know, like, chose to look like this, versus a character that's designed to be attractive in a vacuum. Like, you can't imagine this character existing outside of this scenario, this game. Goodbye. The bucket boss is no more. I think a big part of like a character like that working is also like, I'm thinking about like a character like Bayonetta, where like she's obviously designed to be like attractive and provocative looking, but with her personality it fits, you know, like, yeah, that's what she's like. She's gonna dress and move like that. It's all part of her persona, and it works for her. You know, versus like, I'm trying to think of a good example in the opposite direction of like a simpering anime girl who acts like a sex object, but does not seem to have any autonomy in it. You know what I mean? Or this doesn't feel like this character making a conscious choice. It just feels like, you know, a designer just thinking, I'm just going to make this character to be attractive to me in a vacuum. And I know I'm not saying like that's a bad thing. Because, you know, like when you're making art, it's your right to make art that appeals to you. But a character that feels more like, you know, they have their own agency in how they present themselves feels more interesting to me. Like I've said before, I think on stream, I need a bird. Anybody? No? Okay. I'm sure it's fine. Didn't need that. Okay. Like in Fire Emblem, I think about Hilda and her time skip design in Three Houses. And it's kind of, she wears kind of a provocative outfit with like a low-cut top. And where, in most cases in a game like that, a character wearing like a very impractical outfit to battle, you know, with like their chest bared, would strike me as like, this feels impractical in universe and feels like, you know, the attractiveness was prioritized over, does this make sense in universe? But Hilda, it made sense because her whole thing is like she wants to play herself up as, oh, I'm so helpless. If only some big strong person could come do all the heavy lifting for me. Meanwhile, she's wielding a giant axe. You know, that's her whole thing, and it makes sense for Hilda. Am I making sense? I hope so. Anyway, it's all about autonomy and agency, and does this make sense in universe? I knew Kapotoko would be in favor of me mentioning Hilda. Hilda's a dirtbag, and I say that with respect. Hilda rules. Was that a good decision? I don't know, but we're here now. Yay. Yeah, dirtbag non-derogatory. Dirtbag affectionist. Also, I can't believe I was so busy soliloquizing and trying to do this level properly that I missed the bucket kicked itself. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I missed that. Reading it in a timely fashion. Yeah, that's the thing. Hard not to feel like a creep when like a design is really male gazy. Just to the point where like it feels exploitive, I guess, for lack of a better word. Yeah, like some of the ghost designs in Fatal Frame 5. And again, this isn't me saying like, oh, fan service, no, my rhino, fan servicey designs are bad. Because, you know, like, it's all a matter of perspective, and it's a subjective thing. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with making art that appeals to yourself. If you want to make something and just fill the cast with characters that are designed to be attractive to you with grossly impractical outfits that look cool to you, then do it. But just for me personally, especially if something is trying to tell a serious story, but then you have, like, you know, the bikini armor and the chest being out. You know, it can hamper maybe the message that you're trying to send. Blessed Hilda. I guess a time and a place? Is that a good way of phrasing? I don't know. Dead or Alive fans trembling right now. Look, Dead or Alive fans know exactly what they want. And there's nothing wrong with knowing exactly what you want. If you want to see women in bikinis fight each other, go for it. I can just respect when something is not for me. Yeah, time and a place for everything. Oop. You know, like, a good time for Donkey Kong to be in that place was not right then. I want that, but there's a hole here. I want the Donkey Kong barrel. Why do I have to go into tire hell? Yeah, I didn't actually know that Fatal Frame 5 used the Dead or Alive engine, but yeah, I guess you get some bounce, to put it delicately. Oh, here we go. Oh, I think it's either this one or this one. Yay! We did it. You know, I kind of forget this world exists. Like, just because it's so near the end. But no, I guess I'll probably beat the game tonight. I was like, you know, am I getting another stream out of this? No, I'll probably beat the game tonight. Unless I take forever to beat K. Rool at the end. Spoilers, K. Rool is the final boss. I'm sorry if you were expecting a return of Baron K. Rulenstein. Secrets? Nope, snake. Oh, well, not getting that. Those poor snakes just being ejected into the void. Wow. I'm sorry King K. Rool is in this game. I'm sorry to destroy your expectations. So cruel. Speaking of the Dead or Alive engine, you've been watching Sonic Adventure 2 videos and you forgot how pronounced the effect was on Rouge. It is a Sonic game, huh? Well, honestly for me, the thing I thought was funny about Rouge was not the front bounce, but the way her ears bounced. I always thought that was funny. Like just how overreactive her ears were. I'm sure that's probably not where a lot of people were looking, but I thought it was funny. Oh, there's definitely a secret down there. Oh well. Mario defeats Bowser in every game. Surely there's gotta be an exception. As I'm racking my brain and thinking, oh no, I'm a fake Mario fan. Whoa. Ah, I was doing so well. Stepped on a snake. Inspiring a new generation of furries. Doing important work, I think. I didn't know they were toning down Rouge's proportions, but yeah, like having a curvy figure is not inherently pornographic. You know, and it's frustrating that, you know, like just the human body can be just sexualized just for existing. Like people can't control that. That's a you thing. If you look at someone's body just existing and say, I think your body is shaped inappropriately, like, that's not fair. That's not fair either. Wow, rude. I can't believe that Kremling, that Claptrap was body shaming Donkey Kong. You're gonna say it despite Mario's popularity as a mascot and how many people love their games, his character design is boring. Kind of a product of you know, having to make it distinctive back in the day, right? Making sure that his features are easily discernible with only a few pixels and limited color. But you know, on a different note, I'm a fan of very simple designs. You could probably tell by looking at me, is that I like sort of simple shapes and bold colors, because to me those stick in my mind more. So while Mario's design may be very simple, it's a memorable one. And like, you know, it's like easy for kids to draw and that kind of thing. Like, you can recognize Mario at a glance. Whereas if you look at like a gacha game like Genshin or something, and I'm not throwing Genshin players under the bus, I'm using it as an example. Unless you want to throw yourself under the bus, be my guest. But I can't see. Like those tend to be really over-designed outfit-wise. Like there's so many unnecessary details, and for me personally it doesn't work for character designs because they kind of just get lost in all the details. I didn't need that light. I'm fine. And also it kind of ties into what I was talking about earlier about like a design that makes sense in universe versus one that's meant to be sort of attractive in a bubble. Like, if you look at the average character outfit in, again, I'm not throwing Genshin under the bus specifically, but it's a good example of what I'm talking about as a gacha game, where the characters are really over-designed, and it's hard to imagine, like, anyone, like, actually waking up and choosing to dress like that. Like, when you look at all the details on their outfits, and you think, how long would that take to put on and take off at night? What if you have to use the bathroom? Which is a fallacy now that I say it out loud, because nobody in any sort of anime game uses the bathroom. That would not be kawaii. That would not be moe. The bathroom is not cute. Yeah, I guess that's the thing with Genshin, is that, yeah, as you phrased it, characters caught in a trap where the characters are built over generally the same model and shape. So leaning really hard into small details to distinguish them. Like, you'll see it in other things, like something like, and again, I'm not throwing anything under the bus or saying like, oh, this thing you like is bad. I'm not. It's more a character observation detail. Something like Love Live. Or Idolmaster, where there's a lot of different girls, but their variation mostly comes in things about eye color and hair color and outfits and whatnot, and very little diversity in their body types and face shapes. Another example, Byleth, or Lady Byleth in Fire Emblem. You haven't played it, but isn't she supposed to be a teacher that's not professional dress? Well, the thing is, Byleth is actually a mercenary. And yeah, that's one of the very frustrating designs in Three Houses, where even though they're essentially identical plot-wise, regardless if you play as the male or female Byleth, that the female Byleth has that really impractical outfit. And again, it felt like it was designed in a vacuum to look cool and not, is this something that a person working as a mercenary would wear? Yeah, if you want to talk about dresses and teachers, look at Manuela. Well, you might have difficulty looking at Manuela if she's too drunk to stand up straight. I like Manuela, for the record. And again, your mileage about character design philosophies may vary, and I want to be very clear, this is not me saying like, oh, X is good design and Y is bad design. This is more about my personal preference and how I like it when design feels like, okay, this is something that a character might actually wear. Like, this makes sense in universe. And there's nothing wrong with having cool designs that, okay, aren't practical, but, you know, they look flashy. Yes, Manuela is the one with the Mrs. Krabappel haircut, that is correct. She's voiced by Veronica Taylor, aka Ash Ketchum. Which, as soon as I realized, like, it just clicked, like, why does she sound so familiar? Oh! It's Ash! That was a fun bit of whiplash. No! Rip. Well, the beaver went down with me. You know, it's funny when you say Kratos, and I know you mean, sorry, Kratos, but when I see that name, I think of Kratos from Tales of Symphonia, not the God of War guy. And so when I see Kratos and voice actor, I think about Cam Clark. It was also Liquid Snake. Brother! And it's all come back to Metal Gear somehow. And what would make, like, would you change Mario's design in a way that would make it more interesting to you think? Because yeah, I agree with the assessment, like, yeah, like, Mario isn't very flashy. But I think he's also memorable because of that. Whoop. Oh no! Cam Clark was also Simba's singing voice in The Lion King 2, really? I did not know he could sing. Actually, you know, that's kind of a lie. I remember seeing, there was a video he did during Christmas with David Hayter a while ago, in character as Snake and Liquid. So there was that. Man, that must have been such a fun role to do. And I was also thinking about Cam Clark because I mentioned earlier how I was going through a Let's Play of Killer 7. I haven't seen the voice cast for that game, but there is a character featured in one of the chapters, like I'm 99% sure is voiced by Cam Clark. Doing a southern accent, but it's Cam Clark. And just being incredibly hammy. In the way only Cam Clark can. You would absolutely delete Mario's design altogether, throw it in the trash. Not Luigi though, right? Luigi can stay. You can't argue with the color green. They really want you to get rid of those crushes. They're too beefy. Was I supposed to go on that platform with the beaver? I think I was. I got scared. Okay. Yay. You know who I'm referring to, and that is Cam Clark. Okay, Olmeda, that guy. You can only think of one quote he says off the top of your head, and this chat is not an appropriate place for this quote. You think maybe with Mario the fact that he's just a human guy puts a lot of onus on his personality, and yeah. I mean, he goes, wahoo! He's a very joyful man. He loves bouncing around and helping people. Luigi has been suffering forever. Let him have 1 year of the spotlight, and then he goes to the furnace as well. Okay, this one spits more coconuts. You hear that, Luigi? You get 1 year free of your brother's shadow, and then you too go to the incinerator. Maybe if you solve a Sudoku puzzle, we'll let you live. What do you mean by that, Maury? Only my homies in the audience familiar with a certain game series will know what I mean. And if you don't worry about it. I know, the poor financial strain, or rather, the financial strain suffered by the year of Luigi. I was about to say poor Luigi as if it's his financial strain. Like he's paying the bills at Nintendo. I mean Sudoku. Sudoku specifically to save Luigi from the incinerator. If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. All this anti-Mario talk is really nice and all because it's only fueling the true correct position that Bowser should be the star of the Mario series. I mean, I want to play a game where Bowser is the main character. I would absolutely play that. Also, Gangplank Galleon. Oh boy. Here we go. Some tunes. Hello. See, he's so much more lively compared to Donkey Kong Country 3, where he kind of just gave up and just puttered. Not even on foot, just with his dinky little backpack. Look, he still has the vim and vigor, the zest for life in his eyes. Also, this is a really good song. Oh boy, one of the big problems with this final boss theme is that it's... or not theme, sorry. Arena is that can't see. Uh-oh, he's gonna throw the crown and I can't see it. Oop. Oh no. Oop. Once they hit the deck, are they no longer hittable? He even tips his hat to me at the start. Baron K. Rool and Stein could never, because he wasn't wearing a hat. He looked weirdly naked. The 1K Rool without a hat. No wonder he was depressed. Uh-oh. Oh, man. They have no hurt box after the bounce. Well, I mean, there's only one way to find out, really. Doyoing. This is a big boss. This is the boss. The one and only final boss. Now listen to these tunes. Cool, we did it. We can go home. Pretty tasty. Cheers. I'm drinking my water. Wow, the credits. Yeah, DKC-1 has a king on a pirate ship. DKC-2 is a pirate on an airship. DKC-3 is a scientist in a castle. The end? Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, I forgot he did that. Oop. I mean, I knew he was gonna get up. I just forgot what he did immediately after getting up. I forgot he did the little hop. Oop. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Anyway, we get to hear the music more, though, so that's not a bad thing. You know, I think one of the reasons I decided to stream this right after Donkey Kong Country 3 is that 3's final boss music is such a snooze fest that I needed this as a palate cleanser. Oh, this is final boss music. It's real gold on his belly. How much is he worth? Like, after I beat him, can I trade him in? Oh, no. Oh, silly! Too slow. Oops. You just learned today that this music is a total ripoff of earlier rare game Pirates. Really? He's worth at least 3K rule. He has the hops. Wonder what he drinks every morning. Beer, presumably. Uh-oh. Seems very piratical to quaff a pint of ale. Oop. He's got the zoomies. Just like a cat. Wait. Why does he steal all these bananas? Like, you're not even eating them, dude. Do you even like bananas? At least make banana bread out of them. Like, do something. Oh, really? Oh, my eye's watering. Not now. Don't do that now. I need to see what I'm doing. It's for the thrill of the chase. That's valid. Really is like a cat. Whoop. Okay. Cute little hops. It's very cute, isn't it? It's very dainty. Okay, now we can go home. Woohoo! Yay! And we didn't even need Donkey Kong.
Well done, Donkey, my boy. Would have thought a young whippersnapper like you could have beaten that bunch of no-good Kremlings. You've made an old man proud. Go and look in your hoard. I think you'll be in for a surprise. I ate it. If I'd have been playing, I'd have found everything. I'm sure there must be some bonus rooms you haven't found.
Wow. Boy, those are really big bananas. I could win the state fair. Oh boy, now we get an interesting credit sequence. As opposed to just the really slow, dull one from 3. Those will all go bad in 3 days. Did I show off the bonus room that gives me 101%? Pardon me, I did not, because I didn't remember exactly where it was. But there is a bonus level in this game where it's one of the ones where you have to match 3 pictures on barrels. And if you match 3 bananas, which normally you wouldn't really want to do because that's not much of a prize, it'll give you a barrel, and you can pick up that barrel and break the wall to get into another bonus stage. Yeah, I missed the question about, like, bringing back a Nintendo IP. Yeah, freeing Sakurai from his, Smash prison to do Kid Icarus. Star Fox. Gosh, let me think for a bit. Specifically a Nintendo IP? Yeah, F-Zero. They bring back another F-Zero. I'm gonna be legally required to buy it after all the F-Zero 99 I've played. But of course, if it doesn't have like an online silly deathmatch mode like F-Zero 99, it's just not gonna be the same. Get out of my my house. Get out of my house. This house party is terrible. They ate all my snacks. Drank all my booze. Dying on the F-Zero hill with you. Oh, the beavers are bothering me. Gosh, I'm thinking about Nintendo IP specifically. It's really hard because like people have already said some really good ones, like Star Fox. Star Fox 64 is still on my to-stream list. There's so many games on my to-stream list.
Is it my turn yet?
Look, Cranky, come back when you're selectable in Mario Kart, okay?
Surely it's me next.
He'll be in his rocking chair. There it is, the man of the hour. He took a hit like a chump and fell off the boat. Donkey Kong Jr. math returns, now we're talking. Oh yeah, another Wario. Jeez. Dude, why? Like, do you two secretly hate each other? Like, what's going on here?
I did this using 1 life. And I took less than an hour.
I don't know, are there Ice Climber fans, like, clamoring for another Ice Climbers? I liked the Ice Climbers when I saw them in Melee. I thought their design was cute. I liked playing as them. I think they'd have to do a lot to the formula, though. Pilot Wings, I've only played some of the Pilot Wings on the Super Nintendo, and it's really hard. Maybe because I'd never played it before, but just sitting down and trying Pilot Wings for the first time made me go, wow, I suck at this. Is it just me? I don't know. Maybe once you learn the ins and outs of how to control your aerial vehicle better in Pilot Wings, it's not so daunting, but my god, Pilot Wings is really hard. Oof, man. Oh, some real Ice Climber hate in here. Ooh. Hang on a second. What about Hogan's Alley? Is anybody hoping for Hogan's Alley to come back? I'm looking at something here. Well, I forgot 1080 was a Nintendo thing specifically. Because I was looking at, like, Nintendo IPs. See, like, what am I forgetting? Like some obscure ones, and some that I forgot were specifically Nintendo IPs. Also, that's it. The game's over. Hotel Dusk was a Nintendo IP. Didn't realize that. Huh. Ba-ba-da-ba. You know what I want them to bring back is Mario Golf, but make it good. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I am the world's one and only diehard Mario Golf fan. I'm not the only one. I know there's other Mario Golf fans that are much more into it and have played much more than I have. But gee golly, I love Mario Golf. Oh, Cubivore! I never got to play Cubivore and I wanted to. Or Eternal Darkness. I'd like to see another. It doesn't have to be like a sequel, but something in the same universe. Bring back the Mantarok Dome. We shall form the Mario Golf official fan club on twitch.tv. Well said. A follow-up to a light gun game these days. Yeah, I guess, I mean, with the gyro aiming. Oh, Balloon Fight. Maybe make Balloon Fight into some goofy, lighthearted, but intense competitive sport, like Splatoon and Turf Wars. Oh man, I want more Eternal Darkness. That was such a fun one to stream, and I'm really glad I streamed it. Even though, like, I was really out of it. I think my first day playing it, I think I recall being, like, really tired at the end of that stream and, like, walking past things. So it's hard to go back and watch, but gosh, Eternal Darkness was a lot of fun. More of that. I remember renting Wave Race 64. It had some nice music in it. Only 65%, but I mean 2 hours I think is pretty good. Kapotoko, you don't remember how long our pal Neko Loose took. Do you? Well, he also, I think, used save states. I don't remember. But anyway, that's Donkey Kong Country. Wow. I had a great time streaming this and playing it again and just hanging out with you all, especially after a really rough week while I was pretty sick over the weekend. So thank you all so much. You've made my day so much better. It is such a treat to hang out with you all. I'm not judging anyone for using save states, by the way. I'm not judging our friend Nicholas for using save states. This is a tough game if one is not used to it. But yeah, so Friday, I will be playing more Hattie Time, if everything goes to plan. And then again, remember, I won't be streaming on Tuesdays for a while until November because I have Japanese lessons. So it'll be Wednesday, Maurice, for a while. I hope you can forgive. In the meantime, please stay safe, take care, have a wonderful evening. And you know, if there's more like retro games you'd like me to play, let me know, because boy, these are really fun to do. Just the 2D platformers. Maybe I'll play a Sonic or something soon. Anyway, oyasumi nasai. Good night. Take care.